Hi, I'm Mark Greenfield with On Your Mark Sports Massage and Fitness. We are here at the beautiful new Belly Own Body Gym, and today we'll talk a little bit about the shoulder joint and the rehabilitation process. It's very important to keep in mind that anytime you're doing any sort of rehabilitation from an injury or injury prevention, you should try to be working with someone who's qualified, a personal trainer who has a lot of experience in biomechanics, a physical therapist, and if you have an injury, a physician as well. So the most important thing to realize about the shoulder joint and the shoulder girdle is that it's a very mobile joint. And to create that mobility, we sacrifice stability. And that leaves the joint open for a lot of different types of injuries, whether it's shoulder impingement, frozen shoulder, dislocations, rotator cuff tears, biceps tendonitis. So there's a lot of different injuries that can occur. So I'm going to bring Faye in here. We'll talk a little bit more about the shoulder. Thank you, Faye. Face the camera for me. So the shoulder joint is made up of 4 different joints. And so one is the SC joint, the sternoclavicular joint. This is the AC joint, the acromioclavicular joint. Then there's the ball and socket, which is the GH or glenohumeral joint. And that's kind of what is kind of the main shoulder joint itself that will get dislocated a lot if there's a laxity in the ligaments. And then the rotator cuff, which is a series of 4 muscles, one here, one in the front, 2 in the back, that cuff the ball, the humerus, into the socket. So the rotator cuff is what really creates stability. We'll talk more about exercises to activate the rotator cuff musculature. So I'll have you turn around and all the way for me. And then here we have what was called the scapulothoracic joint, thorax meaning thoracic spine, scapula meaning the shoulder blade. So I'm gonna have you lift your arm over your head. And you can see the scapula moving. So and go ahead and lower. And you see there's the AC joint, there's the glenohumeral joint, and then there's the scapulothoracic joint, which is technically a fake joint because it doesn't have a joint capsule or ligaments. But all 4 of those joints combine and work together to create mobility and stability in the shoulder. So let's take a look at the shoulder anatomy a little bit. We have stronger and more superficial layers of muscles, including the trapezius group, the deltoid group, the pec major, and if we come back around here, we have latissimus dorsi. Those are all really strong muscles that create powerful movements in the shoulder. The smaller muscles are the rotator cuff muscles, which help stabilize the shoulder while we're doing those powerful movements. And they're underneath the bigger muscles, and they're much weaker and smaller. So oftentimes with shoulder injuries and prevention, we are trying to activate these smaller muscles to help stabilize the shoulder when we're doing bigger movements like bench press or pitching or playing tennis. So if we look at Faye's shoulder here, we have the scapula, shoulder blade. All the trapezius muscles are here. The rotator cuff is right here. The deltoid's here. So go ahead and lift your arms up. Right, you have the deltoids, you have the upper trap, and then the supraspinatus, one of the rotator cuff muscles, is underneath here. Okay, so go ahead and turn around. And then the pec major and the subscap, which is another rotator cuff muscle, sits in the front. So again, these smaller muscles, which you can't see from the outside, are underneath the bigger ones and play an extremely important role in stabilization of the shoulder.